Hello and welcome to the Presence Panel. My name is Chris Lunsell. I'm the Director of Content here at Luxury Presence, and I'm so excited to have everybody with us today. I see folks shouting out in the chat where they are from. Holy cow, it's amazing to see folks from all over the country, all over North America. I'm seeing a couple of folks from Western Europe, two people from Eastern Europe, somebody from Belize. What an amazing thing to be united around a common goal, a common direction as professionals, and for some of us, a common calling in life, which is to serve those with real estate needs in our individual respective communities. Today, we have a really exciting conversation for everybody. We are going to be looking at branding. We're going to be looking at serving our clients through better experiences driven by mobile apps, branded mobile apps. Now, it sounds like a really niche topic. And you know what? Maybe it is a little bit niche. It is specific. It is a niche that is something that is cared about, that is thought about, scrutinized by the most thoughtful and interesting marketing and real estate professionals in the world, which is why you're here. And which is why I'm so excited to introduce our panelists, leaders in this space, and folks who are activating a branded mobile app experience for their clients, for their communities. Enough talking from me. Let's get into introducing our panelists. We have four amazing representatives here engaging in conversation with us today. I want to give each of them 30 seconds to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about who they are and what they're doing. Let's start with Scott Kogos. Scott, hello, how are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you today?
Fine, fantastic. Would you mind giving us the short version? Who are you? Where are you operating? And tell us a little bit about your business.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Kogos with Elegant Forbes Global Properties. We are the exclusive members of Forbes Global Properties here in the five boroughs. My team is able to service both Westchester and the Hamptons as well. Personally, I've been in the business for coming into my 19th year, 7 years in new development. Now, this is my 11 and a half year in resale. When I came to Elegant, I got the courage to create a team. So I now have a team of 6 and an assistant. We have 4 websites. We have our own branded personalized app. A podcast is going live in April, and our blog is getting ready to start. So we have been busy understanding what's actually been happening with the industry and how to better service our clients by offering them better information in more real time.
Amazing. Scott, great to have you here.
Thank you, Chris.
Let's shift over to Miss Elena Gartz. Elena, welcome. Happy Monday.
Hi, happy Monday. I'm so glad to be here. I am with Holland Group Real Estate. We are a brokerage located in Jupiter, Florida, which is Palm Beach County, within Palm Beach County. And we have a unique business. We really have moved beyond the just transactional business. We have a whole entire home concierge advisory. So that's really how we set ourselves up with our clients. We come in as an advisory. We help them with not only obviously all the transactional stuff in terms of real estate, but helping maintain their home, helping them see the value. We might go into a property and see that there's availability for a 3rd bedroom. So we will get the renderings, get all the things ready so that potential buyers can see the value. So we're doing a bunch of different things that are slightly different than the typical real estate model. Florida real estate's always exciting and fun. So I'm happy to be here.
Amazing. Thank you, Elena. Great to have you as a part of the conversation today. Next up, Ricardo Rodriguez. Ricardo, welcome.
Hi, Chris. Thank you very much for the invitation. Hello, everybody. Good to be here. What can I tell you, Chris? Where do I start?
Oh,
I've been been in the business for 20 years now, contemporaries to Scott. I am in Boston, although my business is New England. I am very lucky to run the #1 team in New England, a large team in New England with Coldwell Banker. We are in 4 states, Maine, we are in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, of course, as well as Rhode Island. It's mostly kind of like coastal towns. The reason for that is because we are capturing our clients in all of those locations and those markets that they organically move through. If you are from New England, you know that New Englanders, as much as we hate the winter, we stay in New England, we don't leave. And so our clients have a home, of course, in Boston, but they have a home in the Cape, they have a home in Kennebunkport. And so it allows us to really kind of like capture them all into a single consistent experience in terms of what we do. Of course, general brokerage, but really what we are known in our markets is for that intersection between new construction and luxury. And so we do a lot of new construction projects. We work with a lot of developers in the area, but particularly in the Boston market.
Amazing. I'm so excited to talk to the three of you about how you have built your marketing and your brand experience involving and integrating mobile apps into that strategy. But, I am the sort of person who can ask a lot of the good starter questions. I don't always know the technical questions to go a little bit deeper. And that's why we've got our fourth panelist here. He's the Chief Product Officer here at Luxury Presence, Mr. Zach Hayes. Zach, you want to say hello to everybody?
Yeah, I'm excited for this. The turnout's been awesome. So I'm based in San Francisco. I live here with my daughter and my wife and our two little daughters. My team is the team that designed everything that you saw in that intro video. We build all of these awesome mobile apps on behalf of our clients here. I'm excited to talk about it, and I get to debut a deal at the end of this. There is a surprise we're going to debut for all of your listeners today. So we're excited to debut that at the end.
Amazing. Yeah, if you are curious about mobile apps, which frankly, if you're here, I bet you're curious about mobile apps, and for good reason. This is a technology and a marketing vector that is there really is the sky's the limit in terms of the upside here. If this is something you're interested in, we've got a pretty cool opportunity to get in on the ground floor with Luxury Presence. But more on that as we go. I want to jump right in. It's time to start talking about branding and marketing and how these sorts of strategies are integrated into our panelists' experience. As a reminder, if you have questions, we'd love to hear them. Use the Q&A function on Zoom, and we'll make sure that we get those in here. And then a final reminder, some of you submitted questions when you registered for the webinar. We've integrated those right into the conversation here. So take a listen for your question. We might shout you out on the live broadcast here. Okay, let's get started on personal branding. Ricardo, I want to start with you. You've built one of the most successful real estate teams really in all of New England. Tell me a little bit about how personal branding has impacted not just your business, but your client relationships. And I'd love to hear how a branded mobile app fits into that equation.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the compliment. I would say that, well, we all know that branding is not about collateral, right? Branding is not about a logo. Branding is not about, just having a website. Branding is about how you make your clients feel. And I think that branding, at least in my experience, is about trust. But for me, brands equal trust. And the moment in which a client trusts what we are bringing to them in terms of a service, then we really have developed that brand. And so that is part of why we are constantly innovating. Again, in this business for now 20 years, I mentioned earlier, and I've always been committed to kind of like staying a little bit ahead of the curve. I remember I started, for example, incorporating video 20 years ago when nobody was doing it. I think we're one of the first people to have a website, and then the same thing with social media. One of the first people to really introduce social media into our marketing, 12 years ago at least. And so for me, to have the mobile app is just kind of like an extension of that innovation, is that commitment to innovation. I would say that in terms of the brand that we offer our clients, we certainly are about an elevated level of service. It is also about, as I mentioned to you, that trust. It's about that expertise, but it's really about innovation, always trying to like change how things are doing and stay ahead of the curve. for the business that we do so much in that luxury kind of like space, as well as in the new construction space, that innovation is paramount. And so that integration of the app has been a very, very, very easy thing for us to do. And it was almost like a no-brainer. As soon as I found out that Luxury Presence had this branded app, I was like, okay, let's just get it done. There was no reason to even have a conversation about it. It just made tremendous sense because it is also the direction of how we are the direction we are going, particularly with the AI technology, is the direction of how the business is going. And so to me, it was just a no-brainer, to be absolutely honest with you.
I
And
love it.
it's been well received by our clients. Our clients get it. Again, we're working we're in Boston, so we are dealing with a very sophisticated client base, and they get where we're going in that direction. And then the most important thing for us in terms of marketing, forget about brand, but marketing, is that we pretty much are the first ones in this market to have it. And so we are ahead of the game in that sense. And so it allows us really to speak of our investment into our business and the investment into our clients and the commitment that we have to make the service that we provide the best for our clients. And so it's been a win-win situation.
Scott, I want to piggyback on that and hear your thoughts here. New York is known as a very competitive market, and Ricardo just told us about brand being about trust and innovation. Do you think, given your market and the clients that you are working with and, for quite frankly, competing for, does that ring true to you as well? I mean, is brand a competitive advantage when it comes to building these sorts of relationships?
Absolutely. You know, I want to piggyback on to what Ricardo said, and I agree with everything that you said. What I've learned and why I've done this is when you look at the bell curve and you look at the IT bell curve, I would say that Elena, Zach, myself, and Ricardo and Chris, we are on the innovative side. I've got to stay ahead of the curve. And what I approach it, because my background's in math, science, and economics, is I look top down and I solve a problem. So I saw that I didn't have something here that I needed to better service my clients. And something about branding, not just to Ricardo's point about having a website, it's not about the website in your name. It's actually going to Tiffany's and knowing that little blue box when you open it, unravel it with the blue strings, you know what's coming out of it. So when somebody comes to scottkogos.com in Elegrin, I want them to have an experience. I want them to have a feeling, right? And what the feeling that I've been able to offer my newest clients that are on there, and we have 5 clients that I've been shifting my whole business on there, it makes them feel special. They're like, wow, my agent has their own tool. Like I heard this the other day from a broker at Corcoran. They said, I don't even have this. My company doesn't have this. Number 2, they then think you're the real deal. And I say to them these words, because you're so important to me that I'm investing in our relationship together. Because on my website, and you can do this now on the mobile app, we're building out something called Build Your Home. You know, we don't want to be Rick Astley with a 1 or 2 hit wonders and be gone. I'm going to start offering to my clients all of my vendors and services so the relation keeps going after the transaction, similar to what Elena was talking about. So what's great about this app is you can share those with them, specifically the ones that they want to use, and connect them there. So it's created this special relationship and communication. So things aren't getting lost in email and text and here and there. You're focusing where the communication is. And here in New York, this will answer your question. It's all about speed to need, right? Sometimes if there's, something going on and we are beginning to have some bidding wars, believe it or not, I have a bidding war this morning on one of my listings. And it's about the speed of getting the information, in and, moving it forward.
I couldn't agree more. I actually want to zoom out a little bit from that. Elena, you and your team you don't just serve one market. You're not just working in a small in an isolated place like some of the attendees that we have here. You're working really on a global scale. Can you speak a little bit to how brand works as a part of your strategy for serving a client base that really is across continents?
Absolutely. The reality is you can talk about being innovative and next generation all you want in your marketing tactics, or you can actually show clients in real time that you are. And that's really what the app does. It kind of sets apart that piece of it because you're showing them. You're not talking about it. I mean, obviously we're talking, it's within all of our language, but there's an experience that needs to be had to really understand it. I've seen firsthand how leading brands stay ahead in their marketing by creating exclusive experiences that feel very personal. And this is across the board. Global brands, all the brands that we think about, what are they doing great? They're creating these personal experiences and they're controlling the customer experience. They're not shifting them off to the MLS, different third-party portals. And the app just allows you to do that. The reality is perception is everything. And, all of the technology that we have, our websites, our apps, it just signals a forward-thinking, modern approach. I don't know about you, but anyone I work with, I want to work with the best of the best, regardless. And I want to work with, whether it's like service people, anything that are on the forefront, because it builds obviously trust, professionalism. There's no question about it. We are the people that, our clients want to work with. And, when you look at the app and the capabilities for us in terms of branding, we are able to really communicate our entire ecosystem and really visually showcase what we're about within the app, because not only are we sending obviously property searches, I mean, that's a big piece of it, but having the capability to write a special note about a renovation idea or an inspiration picture or all those different types of things and deliver them directly to a client's phone is something that really sets us apart in what we do in terms of marketing.
Amazing. Yeah, it's really dramatic when you see the difference in businesses when you look at businesses that invest in this technology as a differentiator and as an opportunity to create these specific kind of curated experiences.
Mhm.
But I do actually, I'd love to open up to all guests here. What do you think about how branded mobile apps fit into a lead generation strategy? I mean, it seems like there is really obvious upside from a brand and kind of brand development perspective, but I'd love to hear from anyone here. How does this fit into your lead generation strategy? Are you capturing leads or nurturing leads using a branded mobile app?
Well, I would say that if you don't mind me jump in right now.
Please.
From my experience, there are certainly different levels to that. I think that the most obvious level is the actual utilization with our clients and the fact that they are seeing, as Elena and as Scott mentioned, they're seeing this investment into our service and what we are doing and staying ahead of the game. And I think that there is something that really kind of like consolidates for them that we are the people that they want to be working with, and that hence we are the people that are going to refer their friends, their clients, their families to us. So I think it creates more, it kind of like solidifies that organic way of doing that lead generation, which is through your sphere. But I think something that we have experienced is that we have gone outside of that, and we are marketing the app to the general public. And so we have it right now in digital campaigns, we have it on ads and magazines. It's like all over the place. And what we are getting is inquiries about that from people that are not at this point in our sphere, but that are really curious about the fact that we are doing something that they don't see anybody else doing. And so I think that the app as a tool is extraordinary, but I do think that as an opportunity for lead generation, it goes beyond working with your clients, and it goes beyond into the ability of being able to create a marketing campaign that is going to bring you a brand new set of eyes and a brand new set of clients. And we are seeing it also not just from people that are out there as consumers, but we're also seeing it from other colleagues, even in other markets. And they're noticing that we have this kind of technology, and they want their clients that they're referring to come to us because we have something that is different from everybody else. So I think that there's a tremendous gain to it. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
go ahead, Elena. Go ahead.
So I just quickly, I agree with everything Ricardo you were saying. I mean, in terms of, just piggybacking, like lead capture and converting leads and all those types of things, we're talking about it. We talk about it a lot. And at the end of the day, I just showed a property a couple weeks ago, and they want to see some more, but for me to follow up with these personalized searches within an app platform, I have, they're not converted yet, but they're going to be converted. And we've seen it before, it's taking that next step to nurture that experience and get them thinking that, okay, this is the experience I want. Look how easy this is for me to use. And really we talk about it. I mean, that's the end of the day, converting those leads and capturing those leads. We have it top of mind, and it's really a part of who we are and our brand identity.
Scott, anything to add to that?
Well, they both said it perfectly. I'll just add a couple vocabulary words. Credibility, right? So when you have a lead, when I came to Elegant 2 years ago is when I started my team. So I needed to work very quickly for this upcoming year. But last December, a year ago, we started getting our first leads at scottkogos.com for on our listings. And to Elena's point, then they'd come to the showing, we'd get that personal interface so we could make that introduction. And that gave us the in to then tell them more about this great new tool that we have that we've designed to take you into account, because they're smart, savvy people is what it comes down to, right? And they know they don't want to go to BS. They don't want to be sold anything. They want people that are going to be the real deal, be honest with them. And I think this makes this much more personalized. But to Elena's point, I think the follow-up, as I said before, keeping communication all in one place. I challenge my agents all the time. I don't care what platform you use, but use a platform that you're going to be consistent with and be the best at it, so you're the expert. And as the industry evolves, then how do you make it better as an experience? Because for me, it's no longer customer service. It's what is the experience that our clients feel at the end of the transaction. In fact, I'll go even this further. And what are they feeling during the transaction? I'm out yesterday with a client. We put an offer in on an apartment, and $600,000, her first apartment. It's a co-op. She's very scared, and things like that. And I asked her, was there anything we could do better? She's using the app. She loves it because it's very quick for her, and she's running around all day in her job. And I said, what could we do better? She said, you know what? You and your team are amazing. And then she said, but we talked about it. And I said, she's helping me create a new checklist where maybe we can create for new leads and new clients to break down the experience, even though we have a buyer's guide, but break it down even that much more palatable. And again, we're leaning in, pulling them closer, and really showing that, to Elena's point, that we truly care and we want to get you through this, and we'll be there for you the whole way through.
It's interesting to hear Scott talk about the way that his mobile app has created a new opportunity for the sort of collaboration that is moving transactions through. I'd love to hear from anybody. We get reports at Luxury Presence that the use on mobile apps by our clients' is starting to reduce their dependency on these third-party platforms. Like, our clients' aren't visiting Zillow or MLS portals in the same way. Is that part of the goal for you guys? I will open this up to anybody. I mean, it makes sense that we're driving customer behavior, search behavior inside our ecosystems to provide them with that next level of service. How is that playing out for folks? Anybody who wants to start on that?
That to me was the selling point. It was the ability to really consolidate all the communications with our clients in one single space. This idea in the past that you have to send text messages, calls, emails. They get information from this website. From that website, we are sending them MLS updates. Literally, the information is all over the place. Then the communication is also all over the place. What has been really interesting for us is consolidating that entire communication into one single spot. And so the client knows what the information is at all times, and we know what the information is at all times. We know what feedback they're providing in real time. They're getting our feedback also in real time. We have the ability to add information to that in terms of those checklists and in terms of third-party service providers. Like, it's really a very interesting communications tool, and I think that to me has been the game changer. Really is the game changer. It's not just that they can get information on these properties, that we are consolidating all our communications into one single place that makes it much more effective, much more time effective for us. And it makes it, as Scott and Elena mentioned before, a much better streamlined client experience. It's a really, really, really nice, clear, crisp client experience, which is what we want.
I agree with that. And this kind of goes to my point before, like, you want to own the experience. And when you're pushing people to a Zillow or, I don't know about your local MLS portal, but our MLS portal, it's not very interactive. I always hated sending properties through that. You're pushing them out to a third party platform or whatever, and now they're owning that experience. And that's where the app kind of brings it back to you. You can own it. You can own how they're seeing things. And it's that direct line of communication. And it's mobile friendly, it's right to their phone, which is the most amazing piece of it, because obviously we know people are losing their attention spans. They're very busy. You need to capture them when you can capture them. And the highest performing brands in any industry, they can control that experience. And that's really, I think, what this brings to the table.
And
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Actually, Elena, I'd love to stick with you for just a second and get your thoughts on another item. We've been really excited to see how Luxury Presence clients are using Copilot to generate some exclusivity and some opportunity for exclusive private listings. Are you using private listing features or some of this like personalized communication through push notifications? What's the status of that in terms of your general market?
Well, in terms of our general market, this is interesting because we actually do have a program, and it's called Holland Home Match. Like I mentioned before, we're a general brokerage. We do real estate all over Palm Beach County, but we specifically focus on a lot of private club communities, private golf club communities here. Obviously, if you've been to Florida, that's a big thing. And this clientele sometimes doesn't want to share that they're interested in selling. They want the ability to test the market quietly, preserve their privacy, and control the experience, like I had mentioned. So this really plays well into our program because we allow our clients to discreetly share interest with potential buyers, sellers. We have our potential buyers set up on the app, and we're able to push that information and control that directly. So it's actually great because it's playing really well into the program that we have. It's just adding another element of the technology piece to it. So yeah, we're for that.
Ricardo, how about you? Are private listings a part of your playbook in terms of the way that you use the mobile app?
Yes, certainly is becoming that way. We do have, and I'm sure everybody here has in the market, that TAN service, the TAN, Top Agent Network. That is in Boston or in this market, overall market, how we communicate a lot of this kind of like off-market information. And what is a lot in the past, we literally had to cut and paste or something like that, or pass along the information that we were not supposed to really pass along, but we had to like cut and paste and like create this little hodgepodge of information that we'll pass along to our clients. The app is allowing us to really like transcribe that information from what we are getting from our colleagues, or even information that we have on our own properties that might be off market at this point, and put them right into the website, and they live in there as a resource that we could utilize not just with one client, but maybe with multiple clients that might have an interest on a property like that. And so it really is very time effective. And again, is this idea that all of this information and all this communication lives in one place. And it was mentioned before, that's how we live, right? Our clients, we do everything in our phones. We shop, we order food, we order cars, we order everything. It makes sense that we have something in which we communicate with our clients right in the palm of their hand. And
That makes so much sense. And actually, I bet you Scott would even take this a step further in a world where there isn't a traditional MLS in New York City, these sorts of ways to connect with your clients, I mean, it doesn't just sound like a nice to have. This has got to be a must to have for you, right?
I mean, this definitely is a must to have because I'll go next step that it is actually offering me a new solution for a sluggish apartment. So an example would be right now, the inventory is so tight here because of course, people have waited now 3 times for interest rates to do something. And of course, they didn't do what anybody wanted them to do. We know the Feds aren't going to make a move until July. And then after that, until March of next year after that. So people now know in different categories, and of course, here the national average is about what, 355,000 here in Manhattan. The average is just about 2 million. The median is about 1.15 last quarter. I have an apartment that's 2 million. It's sitting sluggish. It's been crickets. I have another apartment for the seller that we have offers on. This was my suggestion this morning. I have the ability on my own app, and I sent it to him, to actually offer your apartment private exclusively. And he asked me what that mean and off market. And I said, so we can actually take it off the market, but still be marketing it to the individuals or smaller groups. Or maybe I reach out to Elena and Ricardo, and maybe they've got somebody that's going back and forth now that I'm, of course, having this conversation. But in Hawaii, Malti went to say that up to 40% of 2025's business could possibly be off market. So I literally ask agents, I have another one that's going to go off market. Same thing, was on the market, not selling. So I guess in summary, Chris, it's offering us a new solution to get back in the game, because what's happening is brokers, I say, are you showing today? Like, where are you finding these properties? And this is what I'm telling my team. You either have to search for off market, or I go back to 2021, and anybody that didn't sell in 2021 or maybe early spring of 2022 before things started slowing down, if they didn't sell, I'm going back to my buildings and I'm looking to see who's an opportunity, right? And to Elena's point, you may get somebody that's either high net worth, somebody wants to test the market. So bottom line, offering a new solution for our sellers versus just, oh, let's just drop the price.
Yeah, that's great.
And they like that, actually.
Yeah, having that sort of flexibility, especially in a market that is maybe less predictable than many of us expected, but still absolutely ripe with opportunity. Having that flexibility is massive. Speaking of opportunity, one thing that I continually hear from agents who are using a mobile app solution is that it seems like it speeds up the pace of transactions because communication happens faster, things are more centralized. Does anybody have any thoughts on specifically kind of speed and pace of both transactions and relationships? Does that change when you start to integrate a mobile app? Or is this just another tool in your toolkit to do the sort of relationship nurturing that you're already doing?
1,000%, Chris, if I can jump in here and everybody's add on. Time is the most valuable asset we all have. Okay. And I hate to sound like a book or things like that, but that's what we have. And so I know if I have a client that's making an offer on an apartment and they're in Dubai, Japan, in wherever they are, I have hours of time that I need to deal with them. And this has increased the flexibility. The speed to need and lead is closing up because, again, as Ricardo said and Elena said the same thing, it's keeping it all in one place. So they're not having to, oh, do I text Scott because it's too late, or do I email him? This is where we go. We set the expectation, and I don't sleep anyway. So, but I think it's the most valuable asset. So that's, yes, I've seen it speed up my transactions because I'm more effective in looking for that communication, because I have an assistant that runs my CRM on my company's CRM. I'm running this. I have my, there are people involved in transactions, but I still oversee it all. And I want to ensure that we're offering the level of service and experience that they deserve still.
Mm.
Yeah.
How about Ricardo or Elena? How's the
Yeah.
pace of transactions feel when you're using this sort of the mobile app experience as a part of your strategy?
Yeah, I think it certainly has changed for us. And so to give you kind of like an idea, unless you wanted your client to be in a third-party website looking for information, really the only way that we could pass information along to our clients before this was through MLS. But MLS has a rhythm to it, right? Like people get their morning email once once a day, that kind of stuff, which really interrupts in some ways the pace and interrupts in some ways the momentum. And so what this is allowing us to do is pick up the momentum. It's really allows to say, have a conversation, let's say, with a buyer and be like, okay, I want to change my search. I want to add this neighborhood. I want to increase the price point, whatever it is. And we're able to really not only make that change, but really start communicating those changes immediately, not having to wait until the morning for that, that wonderful email to show up, but we're able to really have that conversation and then start editing a lot of their choices. When we are setting up all of these tours, we're able to in real time start like eliminating things or adding things that we're needing. So it's a much more effective way of doing it. It's also, we discovered a very good tool with our sellers. I know that, the tool is the tool is seen mostly as a buyer a tool, and I think that's where it's most applicable. But we're using a lot with our sellers in the sense that we're keeping our sellers abreast of what is happening for properties that are of their, of a comparable in nature. And so it is really speeding up a lot of the conversation that we are having in both sides of those transactions. So it's been great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Elena,
Yeah,
your thoughts?
absolutely. No, I agree. I think that, whenever you give a client the ability to, go directly from their phone into an app and directly comment, questions, I don't like this, obviously it's moving things so much faster. Emails, I mean, you guys know, emails are just so bombarded. People, they go on, they forget what they're doing, and a lot of people are just on their phones at night. I mean, this is kind of like our culture. This is the reality. This is how we live in 2025 and beyond. So it's like the phone is like an extension of our hand, right? I mean, it is. It's crazy to think that. But I just read this article that said, like, in 25 years, our thumbs are going to be bigger because our bodies are evolving to this type of technology. So it's just whenever we can get the client to tell us fast what they're thinking, we're interacting. It moves things so much faster. And as in this business, we want to move fast, right? We want to get the deal closed. We want the client to be happy. So yeah, it's a great tool, and everyone's a fan of just that ease.
Yeah, I agree.
If I
And
can add one thing, I just wanted to,
please.
I want everybody to know the cool part that none of us have mentioned. Real-time texting in the properties when you send them to your clients. So you put
Yeah.
them into, we right now call it properties. And basically it's your curated group of collection properties working with your clients. But this is why it's faster, is because there's a little text box in the property and they can actually interact on that property specifically, and it's fun. And it's what they know,
Yeah.
which is texting and all that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Scott, for that. I was actually thinking that we are starting to eliminate a lot of those crazy conversations sometimes we have with our buyers. Like people start going off the tangent because we are really actually looking at the information on real time, and so we are not in a separate text message talking about something that they are not looking at. We literally are having conversation about things that we are looking in real time, and it's really eliminated a lot of that craziness that sometimes happens during
So
communication.
I am getting respectfully completely blown up by DMs from people in the webinar wanting to see the app here. We've done a lot of talking about the benefits of it. Zach, I'd love for you to give us a little bit of a peek behind the curtain here. We've been talking about Copilot. Let's do some showing of Copilot. Would you mind giving us just a quick demo here?
I would love to show you.
Amazing.
So to clarify, there were some questions about what apps are we talking about? What is Copilot? So Presence Copilot is what we call the mobile app that is Luxury Presence branded. It's the base model for everything that we've been talking about. And really where the big unlock is and what we've been driving towards the last 2 years is to be able to completely brand that to your business, to your team, to yourself, so that you can have your own app in the App Store with your name. You choose it. We go through a whole design process. You get to design the logo. We help you design all the screens. So it's highly curated, and you don't have to deal with the App Store yourself, which is a nightmare. I would never recommend it to anybody. We get all the approvals from Apple, Android later this summer. So that's what we're talking about. And today, officially just today, we have launched 2.0 of the base model, which powers all these apps that we're talking about. And that's what I'm going to show off.
Zach,
Chris needs sharing.
you know what? Why don't I do this the share and
Okay.
you can just walk us through. Would that be all right?
Let's do it. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to notice in the new version, the 2.0, is we've really completely rebuilt the consumer side of it. So this is about wowing your clients, ushering them through a challenging process. You're going to see this looks like a social media app. It's gorgeous. You have these full screen photos of MLS listings directly synced from the MLS. If you have private listings that you've uploaded yourself, you can show those off here as well. We sync within 20, 30 minutes of the MLS, so it's super fast, just like the portals. And you're going to have all of the same information. They can share it with you if they like it. They can hit like. They can say, I don't like this. They can leave comments, like we're going to show in this little screenshot here. The other cool part about this is a collaborative experience, not just with you, but they might have a spouse or a partner that they're buying with. They're going to be in the app together with you, maybe your assistant, maybe there's 2 agents working on this. So it's all collected in one spot. You don't have to worry about these long text chains and emails and MLS listings. It's all here, perfectly easy to use for them.
Zach, did you say we have an MLS sync of 30 minutes? Is that right? I mean, that
It's usually
seems
20
so
minutes,
fast.
but I gave a buffer. It can be up to 30, but it should be around 20 minutes.
Amazing.
All right. And then you and they get post notifications when a property matches their needs. You can set up safe searches here. If they comment on a property or if they like a property, those notifications are going directly to you in real time. So this is an always on experience. Like Elena was saying, we see that they're playing with these on their phone, they're talking to each other. This is a late night experience for a lot of them. And instead of doing that on Zillow or another portal, they're doing it in your own app. And you get to see all this activity, which if you go forward, Chris, all the communication here, consolidated in one spot. You can see everybody you're sharing with. You can share with people that haven't even downloaded the app yet. This will take them to your website. Any property, you can quickly fire off a text. Next slide, please. Okay, and here's the really powerful part in 2.0, this activity feed. So every property that they're looking at, you're going to see in this feed. You'll see the ones that they're commenting on, liking, anything they're looking at on your website. If you have a luxury presence website, all consolidated here into one feed. If it is a couple searching, like I said before, it's all consolidated down to this one spot. So you get a ton of insight on when they're active, what they're looking at. You don't have to worry about like, are they going dark? Are they still interested? It's all going to be right here. And the name presence copilot of the base model, the reason why we named it that is we really want to lean into AI making you more productive so that you can wow your clients 24/7. So one of the cool things that we have here is this AI powered notes. You can set up a safe search just using your voice. So you can talk at this as long as you want. You can mumble, you can make mistakes. It will clean all that up. It structures these really nice notes so you can share with your clients, if that makes sense, or you can set up a safe search based on their preferences. So we see a lot of agents will get off the phone and you don't have time to take the notes. They're in the car or something. And so they'll rattle off everything they remember from a phone call. It goes directly in a Copilot and you have that saved for later. Okay. And I promised early on that we had a deal. This is a one-time only deal for those of you on this panel today. We are completely waiving the development fee of branding this app for you and launching it in the App Store. It's usually $5,000. We are going crazy and eliminating that fee for this week only. If you use this QR code, it will take you to a landing page where you'll be able to book a meeting with someone from our team. And if you decide to purchase a subscription to your own branded app before the end of the month, we will completely waive that $5,000 fee. Elena, Ricardo, Scott, sorry you guys didn't get the same offer, but this is specifically for new customers.
What's up, Muppets?
Okay.
Zach, thank you so much. I'm going to leave this on the screen just for a minute while we're chatting in case folks want access to this QR code. Just so everybody knows, now is not the only time that you can book this demo. We are going to be sending out a couple of emails following this this panel discussion, and we'll have the unique link in there, so you'll still qualify for this deal if you book through the email as well. But if you want to get time on the calendar right now, we can absolutely take care of that right at this moment. In terms of, I'm seeing a lot of chat questions around cost.
Yep.
Cost is going to be somewhat dependent on some other factors within your luxury presence ecosystem, and the person you do a demo with can give you a lot more details on that. Zach, is there anything else that would be helpful, just kind of top line from a cost perspective for folks?
Yeah, just to kind of set the range, if you have a luxury presence website, it's generally a $350 a month add-on. And like I said, we're waiving that development fee. So the subscription would just be $350. But there are some parameters based on how many users you intend to have on there and if you already have a website or not. But that's kind of the baseline if you want to set expectations.
Perfect. So just a reminder, you will get links to that booking option at the in the follow-up email, and I'll throw that QR code back up as we're wrapping today, just in case folks want to continue to utilize that here. $350 for the baseline and $5,000 off by booking here. Pretty excellent. We do have some questions that have popped in. And I want to address a few of these because some of these are really relevant to the discussion we were having, especially around using this app to get your existing client base, your community onboarded. Got more than one question around marketing the app, getting the word out. Ricardo, you've been doing some really interesting things about getting the word out about your app in your local community. Can you share a little bit some of the strategies you're using to get people plugged into your ecosystem here?
Yeah, we've taken a multi-tier when you think about it, and we have more of the social media element, and so we created a specific video that looks purposely looks like a commercial for an app, as if we were selling the app, and we've been pushing that on social media as well as in digital, and so that's one way that we've been doing that. Another way that we've been doing it is through more traditional media placement, so newspaper ads, things of the nature, because we want people, not only our clients, but we want a much wider audience to kind of like reach out to us so that we can introduce them to the app and to our business. I know that for some agents it's about serving their ecosystem or their clients. For us, really, it's about enhancing and increasing that kind of like sphere. And so that's another way that we are doing it. Another way that we are doing it is a very kind of like personal. We've been targeting all of our top clients. And we have this very cool, I wish I had it here, this cool little packaging, which we have like this little, it's like a little purse, and it's something about, good things come in small sizes, something of that nature. And so we're mailing that out to people with a QR code so that a lot of our top clients, talking about ultra high net worth, kind of like individual clients, that they actually kind of like look, and I'll show you. Thank you, Ashley. And so it's this little thing that we've been sending out there. You open it, there's a message. Inside there is the little Birkin, and inside this little Birkin there is a little QR, and so we really are going all over the place. And then the place in which we are right now is more about media relations. So we are really now talking to press contacts, to people in the media, building the story as to what we are doing. And so we are going really multi-prone, like multi-level approach, because it's an investment that we are doing. So we want to get the worth out of it, and so we are going in as many places as we can get in a way that makes sense to our clients and what we are trying to adhere. And we're using, I think I mentioned it before, we are using it with those sellers. And now we include it also in our listing presentation, not as this is what we're doing with our buyers, but this is what we can do also with you on the listing side. And so it's been successful in that way. So all of
Great.
it. Yeah.
Chris, can I add one thing on to Ricardo?
Please.
First of all, Ricardo, that is absolutely amazing. Talk about feeling your clients feel special and really unique. But what you hit upon is the 20/80 rule or the 80/20 rule, right? What this app has done for me, because this is where I am forcing myself to actually use this predominantly so that I still have the other third parties. I have to double check inventory, of course, but it's helping me remember, if you don't know what the 80/20 rule is 80% of your business comes from 20% of your clients, right? So it's helped me to refocus on when was the last time I talked to this person, and this person, right? The leads are great, and I've agents to work with them and help them with that. But you got to remember who really can do the opening up to your lives by really focusing, narrowly on that top tier business and your clients.
That's great insight. Elena, I'd love to hit you with another question we've received a couple times. I think you might be just the person for this one. Would love to know whether or not the app is a good option for all of your clients, all price ranges. Do you funnel everyone in here, or is this something you kind of do some picking and choosing on? What's your typical approach on that?
I mean, obviously we try to funnel everyone through there, but there's some of our client that might be a little older and it's not, they're not tech savvy, but for the most part we are, because that is the future. And in 5-10 years, I mean, everyone will be. And again, it's the personalization and it's the experience, and we want to own that and we want to provide value. And this kind of platform allows us to do that. So I don't see anyone who couldn't benefit from this app.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree. There's, all bits of connection are not going to be perfect for everyone. For instance, my mom is super interested in everything that I have going. I can't text her though. She only likes to talk on the phone. So some of this technology works for some folks, some of it doesn't. But for a lot of folks, especially as we're moving into a mobile first experience for not just business, but for consumers living their life outside of our business, it's more and more a place that really resonates and makes sense for folks. I do have another question here. I'd love to jump to Zach, actually. Zach, how long does it take from the moment that we sign up to the moment that we're live to get Presence Copilot up and running?
It's about 8 weeks. And the reason why it takes that long is not on our side. It is working with Apple in the App Store. They have so many restrictions. It takes a long time to get your app approved. We've done it hundreds of times now, so we know what we're doing. We will usher you through the process. We'll do it all for you, but it does take some time to get through those hoops, and that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
There's another question that I'll answer quickly while I have the mic, about Real Scout. So the functionality, if any of you have used Real Scout, it's highly similar, but it's completely branded to you. We feel like it has a very high-end aesthetic, like you've seen in those slides that I showed. It's your app, so you get your logo in the App Store. They're not going to Real Scout using your login. And if you have a Luxury Presence website, it's tied into your website. So you control the whole experience. You can show off to a client, say, hey, this is technology that I've invested in, that I've helped build out. It's bespoke to what you really want to achieve with your clients. Whereas Real Scout's going to be, you log into Real Scout and maybe there's a logo in the top corner, but that's mainly Real Scout's experience. This will be yours.
Okay, we have time for one more question before we wrap. And if you have asked a question, we weren't able to answer it here, we will get to as many questions as we can. I'm going to put together an email with questions we couldn't answer live and get those out to folks. So don't worry, you have been heard. Your questions are certainly important. One other question here, and this is about client experience. This is a question that came through when we registered for the panel today. Question is, what's the best way to ensure buyers and sellers are actually using the app? I mean, how do we create that sort of retention and stickiness in individual businesses? Scott, do you have any insight on that? What do you guys do?
You know what? I'm gonna stick with Elena's comments of her very, very early comments. It's about the experience that we offer them. It's, you know, I take pills every day that, manage my blood pressure, right? Or whatever they do. If I don't do my pills every Sunday and that's what I have to do, that's what, you know what I mean? So I think it's a constant of in our newsletter, we have a blog, we have, we do social media as Ricardo talked, where we have actually very specific days we do certain social types of media, and we'll start pushing the app there. So there's all these sort of touch points, right? And then yes, like your mom, I pick up the phone and I sometimes make that phone call and say, "Hey, Chris, how you doing? How has your experience been now that I just want any feedback, or how's your experience been with the app?" And you may say, "Hey, Scott, was actually, I'll give you a real example real quickly. Client bought an apartment, new development, good size, 1 bedroom. She ordered a rug online. It was too big for the living room. She calls me. Hi, do you have anybody that can come in and cut it in my home, rebind it so I can make 2 rugs? I said, yes, I do. Give me a minute. So I went into the app and added the contact information. I called, made the phone call to let them know that all this was happening. And because they wanted $300 to ship it back, she's like this little tiny girl who's like, I'm not carrying this thing back out. So we solved a problem and we made ourselves valuable, incredible, and we kept the experience going.
I love it. Ricardo or Elena, any insight on how to ensure that folks are actually using the app? What kind of touch points do you have to connect with folks on that?
Well, I can jump in. For us, it starts on day one. We obviously explain our process, and the point of that first touch point is to get our clients and our potential clients so excited to work with us and so excited to use our tools that we're kind of setting the stage. This is how we work. This is how we communicate. And then obviously all the other marketing tactics in terms of making sure it's communicated in our e-blasts and our newsletters and our social media and our direct mail and our websites. It's a part of our ecosystem. It's a part of our brand identity. But it really starts from that first point. And I've had so many of these meetings with clients, and everyone's excited. I mean, they're excited about it. They're amped. They want to use new technology. They want to feel like they're using something special and different that, if they went with another company, they might not have it. Again, we're first to market as well in our market. I don't know any other local brokerage that has this technology. So it sets us apart, and it gets the client really excited. And it's just, you have to talk about it. It has to be in all of your touch points, anything visually, anything that the client's seeing, reading, hearing. It's basically a part of who you are.
Ricardo, any closing words on this topic?
Yeah, I would say, listen, real estate is built out of answering your phone calls and shaking hands, right? And so now we just have one more thing. It's the basics. You have to communicate with your clients on a regular basis. You have to tell them, hey, this just come on market. What you have any questions about this? What about that? You have to engage with it in order for them to engage back. And I think once you get that rhythm going, then you're going to get a response in a regular basis. So it's the basics. It's communication. This is how we build the business. It's communication. The tool is fantastic, but you have to activate it. As the agent, you have to activate it. You are the one who has to go out there and make sure that it's being used correctly in the way that you want it to be used by your clients.
Yeah, that is so true. And actually, it kind of reminds me of my closing sentiment here, which is in the lives of our clients, there are so many professionals that they have identified as theirs. They have their doctor. Our clients have their lawyer, their accountant. But so often, it's not my real estate agent. It's just, I know a real estate agent, or more realistically, I know 20 real estate agents. So the opportunity to differentiate yourself and to create a true moment of kind of relationship deepening that is so central to their experience, their digital life, that app on their phone with your branding, with your name, that's an opportunity that we have to jump on. And clearly, it's starting to make its way into the zeitgeist of conversations. We see more and more conversations involve these personalized branding experiences. Luxury Presence is super excited to offer this to our clients and to give you another avenue for pursuing that brand depth and development. We are at time, guys. It's been so great having the three of you plus Zach. I really appreciate all of your insights here. For all of those who have attended, we really appreciate your time, your attention, your great questions. If we didn't get to your question, we'll absolutely include it in a follow-up email. I'm going to drop the QR code on the screen as we close here. If you'd like to book a demo, you can ask all of your questions about how Presence Copilot works and how it can work in your business. And watch for the recording and the follow-up information coming very soon, hopefully by the end of the day today. So thank you again for everybody for being here today. We'll look forward to speaking to you soon.